Welcome to Transform Your Mind, Body, and Spirit with Lisa Dwoskin. Lisa has been a fitness professional for the past 20 years, as well as a fitness competitor. She's now a life coach and is ready to help educate and guide you with nutrition, exercise techniques, and positive mindset. You're invited to call in and ask Lisa any question about how you can jumpstart your very own transformation and become a better you. Call toll-free 1-800-889-0267. Visit her website at lisadwoskin.com or visit her on Facebook at BBL Fitness. Do you want to be healthier, happier, and live a longer and more fulfilled life? Then get ready to transform your mind, body, and spirit and to emerge a new you. Now here's Lisa.
Hi, welcome to Transform Your Mind, Body, Spirit. I'm back. Yay. Hi, Freddie. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. You're back in studio.
I'm back. So I took a little hiatus for about, 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
To film the Change Your Game with Lawrence Taylor. That was great.
It was a lot of fun.
We'll be back. He'll be in here hopefully next week here in the studio.
Where
that
is
would
he?
be great. Well, he went to California to do a charity event for kids. I don't even know what the charity was. Do you remember?
I think cancer kids?
I think so,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And then he went to, I believe, North Carolina, traveling a bit, New York. He's back for maybe a week and taking off again. I never know his schedule.
I hope is he gonna call in? I know you have call-ins today, but
no, he's not calling in today. No, he'll be here next week in the studio with me. So that'll be exciting.
You know, it's really cool. I was looking at your website where the show can be seen on the Ustream.
Right.
And in there, you have a picture of you, back picture, lifting weights.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like you have a tattoo in your lower back. Do you have a tattoo?
Yeah, you didn't know
I
that?
never knew that.
Well, the whole point of that post, by the way, if you would have read it.
I didn't, because it just disappeared real quick.
It was about dream catchers. I know Connecticut, you're going to know what this is about. Dream catchers is a Native American tradition.
I know what a dream catcher is.
Yeah, and that's what's on my back.
Is
so
that
I
what
have
it is?
beautiful dreams every night.
You know that it's in you? Never mind. I didn't say it, Connecticut. I didn't say it.
All right, let's thank the sponsors. Children's Medical Research Institute. Wow, what a great sponsor she is. Claire, thank you very much. I hope to have you here next week. Franovic Designs, which I have Victor on the phone. We'll get to him in a minute. And Dr. Luis Escobar from the Pain Management Stem Cell Research. We'll have him back on the show again. So thank you all for my sponsors. And I'd like to just say Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you. Thank you for being my best friend and always there for me. And to all the dads out there again, Happy Father's Day. So let's jump on with the caller, and then we'll start talking about some deeper issues going on. You here, Victor?
I am.
Hello,
Hi, good
how are
morning.
you?
On the line.
I'm good, darling. How are you? Hey, Freddie, how are you?
Good. How are you, Victor?
Victor from Franovic Designs, the best photo shoot I've ever had in my life. The best pictures, too, and the dresses. Thank you.
I still use it, by the way.
What, the pictures?
And the pictures and the videos to keep promoting. I mean, I've gotten a lot of calls, and when I'm networking with people, they see, I show them the pictures, I show them the video, and they're in love with the whole thing. The dresses, you in particular. It's fabulous.
The video of the yellow dress.
Of the orange dress, yeah.
Orangish yellow, whatever. The mermaid dress. That video, when Carlos put it in slow motion of me walking across the golf course, I'm in love with that. That was beautiful.
Everyone is.
Okay, well, get me on some covers. I need to make some money.
Yeah. Okay. I can do that. I'm working on that.
Okay, so before we jump into our heavy topic we're going to discuss, I just have to tell you something funny, and the listeners, and Freddie, that everybody thinks you're my new boyfriend.
Cool.
So many people have asked me on Facebook, and even friends in my circle are like, is that your new guy? I'm like, excuse me, he's married to a man, and he does not like women.
Only when I'm playing with him as Barbies.
I know, he's my
Dressing
gay
him up and
bestie. Every girl has to have a gay bestie. No, but it's so
Of
funny
course.
because we have so many pictures of you holding my leg up and then you and I holding hands, and it's just
Sure.
hilarious how they just interpret things.
Well, if I ever go the other way, it would definitely be you.
I love that. So I want to share with everybody in here, Connecticut, Freddie, and you about last Sunday. I woke up in the morning and I turned on my Facebook, which is what I do every morning because I have so many spiritual friends and fitness people that post beautiful posts, and it starts my day off very positive and it makes me feel good, and then I'll meditate. And I try not to watch a little bit later. Remember, Freddie Prince and I were debating about whether to watch
Yes.
the news
Whether or not you should watch the news.
because it's so negative. So anyway, I put on Facebook, and one of my friends had posted a post on animal slaughterhouses. And this particular post was so grotesque and horrific. It showed the cow going into the machine, being spun around, and blood everywhere, and then they're slashing the cow's throat open. I
Yeah.
mean, did I say goat or cow?
Cow.
Cow, yeah, yeah. So I saw that. It was so horrible. I couldn't even eat, and I was so upset. Then I said, okay, I can't eat. Let me go walk outside. I could not get it out of my mind. Then I turn on the news, and what do I hear about? Orlando and what happened there. And then I was just like beside myself. So that Sunday, I could not find peace in my heart for the life of me. So before I went to bed, I figured, let me try one more time, turn on my Facebook and get something positive. Then another friend posted, I think, Freddie, I told you about the kid who got pulled out of the car and the cop tasered the kid.
Yes, I saw that.
He had no oxygen to his brain and he's in a coma, and
He's
the
in a
cop
coma.
got arrested for 4 years. And I was like, okay, I didn't sleep that whole night. Woke up the next morning, went to work, taught my classes, tried to walk on the beach, get near nature. Nothing I could do could make me feel better. So I went home that day and did meditate and finally got to a somewhat peaceful state. But anyway, the point is, with everything going on in this world, we need to have a show, and this is what we're doing today, to help people cope with things and deal with things. And how do you find a peaceful state when the whole world is in a disarray? So now that we mentioned my gay bestie on the phone, from a gay man's perspective, and it's not that I'm labeling you, but from what happened in Orlando and what you tell me about how you heard about it and how you felt and how you coped with it and your friends cope with it as well.
Well, I saw it on TV as well, and I was, again, it's crazy what's happening in the world. I'm still putting two and two together with that Orlando thing, because I don't think that this shooter went directly for this group, for the LGBT or Latinos, because most of them were Puerto Rican. I don't know what happened. I mean, he was, if I read right and heard right, he was a frequenter to Pulse, and he also frequented the gay websites and apps, looking for companionship within the gay community as well. I don't know what to think of that.
Yeah, I think that so many people, so many gay individuals are feeling that it's targeted towards the gay people, that other people are it's targeting towards Americans. And what worries me is that some people are going to make it even more of an uproar, because now it's becoming gay versus straight, Americans versus non, and then they bring in the whole racism, and it's such a disaster, and it's such a sad and hurtful thing. It's just devastating to so many people. How did you feel when with your group of friends and your husband, and how did you all cope with it and heal through this whole hardship?
Well, we're still healing. I mean, and again, with LGBT and the gay community, we've always been targeted with hate crimes and everything else, and people really just don't accept. I mean, I even saw on TV that Baptist Hispanic father or priest or whatever he is, going and saying that this was something that, you know, this was good for humanity, to get rid of all the gays. I mean, this is a man of the cloth.
That's terrible.
Stating something like that. And then this morning I also saw, you know, Orlando and visuals and the opposing people opposing and also part of churches and ministries, and saying, and I read what they were holding up. You know, this is God's punishment against gays and whatnot. I'm like, it's not. I mean, we're all people under one umbrella.
Right.
Regardless of what we do behind closed doors is my business, our business, and people should respect that, right?
Of course.
I kind of think that we also, as gays or as humans, we kind of put ourselves in that position too. My opinion, right? I mean, I know what people think of gays and what we do is right and or wrong. I don't want to give them either the opportunity to either make fun of me or to harm me or to, you know, ridicule me or I don't want to put myself in that position. So, you know, again, what you do, if you want to hold your husband's hand, well, hold your husband's hand at home. If you want to kiss him, do it at home. Don't do it in a public place because, again, we're around people, we're around kids. You know, I kind of don't want to do that. I don't want to put myself in that position. And maybe we as gays or as people, straight, gay, black, whatever, don't put ourselves in that position where people are going to go after. You know, just like against with the trans. I'm like, I question when a woman is a trans woman and she's become a woman, why does she say that she's a trans woman? Why can't she just say she's a woman?
Right. We were talking
Why does she have
about
to use trans woman, putting herself out there for people to question her?
Right, and it goes back to the bathroom situation. Instead of changing the bathrooms and the whole transgender bathrooms, have the bathrooms the same. And if there is a transgender woman who is now a woman and looks like a woman, she could go in the woman's bathroom. She doesn't need labeled bathrooms. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, why put yourself in that position? If you're a woman, you look like a woman. It's just like the duck thing. If you walk with a duck and you're a duck, you're a duck.
Right.
Same thing. Right?
No.
So if you're a woman, go use the bathroom as a woman.
It's so true. But getting back to this whole show that I wanted to do today is hate versus love. And what I teach about, and you know, because we talk almost every day about meditating and choosing happiness. You know, Freddie, I was driving here today and I had texted a whole bunch of people, men, wishing them happy Father's Day, friends of mine.
Right.
And then I get back the most beautiful responses like, thank you so much. And making people feel good makes me feel so good. And I know that human beings in the world have to want to feel better and have to want to help others feel better. So if we all could make each other feel happier, we would be in a much more loving space than a hating space. And that's really what I want to talk about and just share, like, with you and your circle of friends, Victor. How do you all spread more love amongst people and less hate?
I think we need to spread and talk about tolerance, right? Is key, and just accepting differences. We're all different, regardless if we're the same color or that we go to the same church, whatever. We're still different, and people should accept the fact that we're different and love differences.
Right.
I don't know what else to say besides, you know, just tolerate what's going on around the world.
And have you started meditating like we talked about?
I have. I've been thinking of what's happening in the world. Actually, because of what happened in Orlando, Francisco and I, we've put together an emergency contingency plan should something like this happen, and we're involved in something like what happened in Orlando, God forbid. What we need to do, what's the plan, what do we need to run to? And I guess everyone should be doing that as well, putting a plan together, where be it outside or inside, even inside your home, and sharing your experiences and be tolerate with everyone in general. I mean, we're all different. We all have points of views. We all have opinions. Respect it.
Right. And it is true, respect it. But you are a very positive person. How do you stay so positive?
Well, I guess it's on a daily basis. I have to, when I go to bed, I pray when I go to bed that please let me wake up in the morning. And when I wake up in the morning, I thank Him for allowing me to wake up and be part of something bigger than just myself.
I love that. Perfect. Gratitude. Gratitude is everything.
Yeah.
People aren't grateful for what they have. They're always wanting something different or wanting something more instead of being grateful for what you have now and loving whatever it is that exists in your life here and now. People are always wanting, needing, searching, and that's not a good thing. You have to be happy with what you have now. I love that.
And it's good to want, right? We always want better. We always want more. But along the way, you should also think of, again, thanking for what you have, thanking the people and loving the people around you. And we don't do a lot of is say the word, I love you or thank you. We don't do that. At least I haven't heard it around my areas. We hear the negative. We don't hear the positive. And that's what needs to happen more and more in the world now, especially nowadays.
For sure. And that's what I tell a lot of my clients. Wake up every morning and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you to yourself. Because if you're loving yourself, you're so much more fulfilled to love others around you. So I love your input. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure. You know me better. No one knows me better than myself.
Yeah.
And I'm the ultimate diva, girl.
Okay, we have Sarah calling in on the other line. So, Victor, thank you so much. And go ahead and give out your website for your beautiful designs, which I absolutely love, so people could order from you.
So it's www.franovic.com. So it's FRANOVIK.com.
Perfect. And check out all the pictures of his beautiful designs and me in a lot of them.
Of course.
Okay. Thank you, Victor. I love you and take care. God bless you and keep meditating and stay positive.
Always.
Okay.
Be well.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Next, we have Sarah Solstice. Are you on the line?
Hi, Lisa. I'm here.
Hello, my beautiful free spirit friend. How are you?
Yay. Hello, love. I am well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy that you're going to be part of this show because you exude love and healing so much. And I think anyone around you feels it and wants to be like that. Connecticut's over here raising her hand in the back. She is amazing, right? So, did you hear at all what we were talking about? Were you able to catch any of it?
Yes, I heard parts of the show, and then I heard Victor speaking just now. Beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted your input, and I was actually going to call you last week, but I know you were traveling, and I was so busy with my kids. But when all these things are happening around us, with the Orlando situation, and then the baby with the alligator in Orlando and getting killed, and then just so much hate and so much danger and so much negativity, give our listeners some advice on how you cope with it or how you would educate people on how to transition into a more positive state.
Beautiful, beautiful. So every outward display that we are seeing is always a collective call back to the inner heart, right? Into this one heart space, this life that we all are. So things are going to manifest in the outward in order to show us what it is that we could be working on right now in our lives, in our personal lives or in our collective lives. So there's always something that we could be doing with our life energy that is more towards a loving expression than what we've been doing. So if we're not at that point collectively where we are all acting out of love, these things are going to happen. So they will continue to happen basically to raise up a flag, to raise up a sign and say, hey, everyone together, we still have this to work on. And I think what we forget is our empowerment. We forget our own ability to easily remedy these things because we feel that we are helpless and we feel that they are happening to us. But when we come together, we can say, hey, I've noticed this in myself. I've noticed this pattern in myself that might not be the most loving expression. Do you know how to remedy this? Can we work on this together? Have you learned yet how to have a more loving expression? So when we do unite in that way, we can clear the tension that was, in the heart of this man, right? This young man that had this hate. He was existing with a difficulty and a tension. We know collectively how to remedy these things. So it's when we come together, we will be able to easily do that. And all of these signs are happening just to show us, okay, it's time to come together because we know how.
And it is so much part of a learning experience. And to feel the hate and live in the negativity is also sometimes good. Like what you said, it's part of our growth process. And I know that, like me, I was brought up with a father who always told me, look at the glass half full, never half empty. And I always did, and I always had a happy face, smile on my face, the positive one. Everyone wanted to be around me. But then it wasn't until I finally lived in my truth and grew in my spirituality that I realized, it's not always about being happy. It's about sitting in that sorrow, the negativity temporarily and working through whatever issues arise, like what you just said, and feeling it, living it, breathing it, and then releasing it and learning from it so we could all grow as a collective universe together, right?
Yes, I love that, because when we are having these feelings, it's what we came here to do, to feel them fully. So we can sit and just allow ourselves to feel them fully. Noise, crying, all of these things are so helpful to express. And they do. They let them out. It lets us see what we are holding still and then what we are needing to work on. And exactly what you said. I love that.
And I think so many people don't feel the bad stuff. They drink alcohol, they smoke pot, some medicinal marijuana is fine, but...
Yeah, but the medical is one thing.
Yeah, no. But
high is another.
Right, they're putting Band-Aids over with prescription drugs, sex, gambling, whatever they do, not to face their truth. And people need to face their truth and their hardships. Go ahead. What?
Yes, and... Oh.
No, Freddie was going to say something.
I'm not going to say anything because from what I'm a little older, I guess, than the two of you, and from what I've seen, since I was a kid, people are learning less, and there's more harm done now in the masses. And it changes your life, your perspective. This one in Orlando, it came close to home for me. My kid is up there.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And not far from there. And I went out last night, and the night before I went to Atlantic Avenue, and it's changed my perspective. And I didn't think it ever would. I love to people that stand up and says, don't let it change you, because and then they win. You're standing in an open area. There was usually that cops down Atlantic Avenue. That's not happening no more. And you start looking around. And everybody begins to look like somebody you should keep an eye on.
Yeah.
And it isn't that I don't have confidence in me. I mean, I probably will run at a gunman and stuff like that because I'm a little bit crazy to begin with. But I just think that change is slowing down. I think that more people have given into the fact that they'd rather be with the masses and to love themselves and to look at the problems within so that they can not do the problems outside. It's like people are being bred this way now.
Well, and I'm sure, Sarah, you're going to have something to say about this. Spiritual, enlightened people who are in this whole new age paradigm that we're getting into with the higher consciousness way of living, we see it as everything's coming into a disarray because it's happening because everyone's waking up to make a change for the better, and it will settle down and get better. But people who aren't spiritually enlightened, who are in this negative mindset, not saying that you are.
But the 60s was all about this.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny because that reminds me of the 60s.
Right, but people were happier, they were more peaceful.
Well, they were all getting high and drinking, and you know,
Okay,
but they didn't create outside injury. They didn't.
Right.
They didn't put a bullet in somebody in a movie theater.
And we could be high and happy without the drugs, and some people could do the drugs, whatever. I choose not to. I choose exercise and meditation, but the point is that people are trying to reach this level where we're looking at it as the world is in a disarray because it's going to calm down and we're going to get into this good space. That's what our next caller is going to talk about, Andrew. But Sarah, what do you agree with that, right?
I do, and I would like to share a parable. So think of it as sweeping a floor, right? We have a huge stadium floor that we're sweeping, and we have the brooms. And maybe in the 60s, everybody had their own little section, and they were kind of clearing their own little section, so they were able to clear that tension. But we still have piles everywhere. So when we sweep the floor, we get all of this dirt into one huge pile. That's what's happening right now, right? So Freddie's right. There is a larger expression in some ways of this chaos, but it's because we're bringing it all together and we're cleaning it up. But what we can't forget is that we are the ones with the broom. We are sweeping this, and we know what to do with it. I think that's the biggest thing. We lose our empowerment, and we think we're helpless to it. We cannot forget that we know what we're doing. You know, we know how to clear it. We just reach inside, and we do have those answers. We all do.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think we breed more hate now because there is so much so fast? Mm-hmm. You know, if you break a nail and you put it on Facebook, 1 million people will know it. Do you think that because of the way social media is, the way everything is nowadays, that we preach more hatred than anything else?
I don't think we preach more hatred. I do think that the whole social media and the negative news and pornography and all this is a little out of control. And I do worry about my kids' future. But I don't think we're breeding more hatred. I don't.
You don't think so?
But that's because I'm seeing life through rose-colored glasses, and
well, don't say that because then we can't take what you're saying seriously.
No, but but if more people in the world would have my perspective of life, the world would be so much more loving and peaceful. So that's why I don't think it's more hatred. I think it's the point of view that people see and perceive life. They need to see and perceive life in a different perspective. They need to choose happiness, and they need to not want to learn about all this negativity. They want to learn about how to heal and how to help themselves.
Well, that's what I like about your transformation show. And I've been doing it now for 7-8 months because you're actually putting people individually on the spot to transform and upgrade and look at the better things in life as opposed to it's easy to be negative. I mean, it is simple to say no. But in your case, if it takes one person at a time, I don't know. There's just so much going on around us, and there's stuff we don't know that's out there.
Yeah.
That you have to sort of want to make a change.
You have to, and for our children's sake and their children's sake.
Absolutely.
So we have about we have a couple minutes. Go ahead, Sarah.
Beautiful. Well, what I hear Freddie saying, I agree with. You know, that it seems like there's a big fire of hate, but I think that technology has helped us all sort of bring that out. It's the same thing as, we need to see it. So we want to see where that hate is. We want to see who's expressing that, because it does show us what needs to be addressed, what does need to be healed. And I don't feel that Lisa has these rose-colored glasses. I just feel that she's anchored into a more scientific, accurate worldview. Our human, delusional, separate hate worldview is not accurate, and Lisa's worldview is accurate. It's connected to the beautiful flowers, the beautiful ocean, all that we see, we know. We've just lost connection to that.
She reminds me of Woodstock.
And I don't even do drugs at all. You believe it?
Sarah reminds me of Woodstock.
Oh, she does.
She does. Not you, Sarah.
No, I love how you are, Sarah. It's just amazing. And just for the people out there listening, how to become healthier and happier. It has so much to do with not
education.
Only the education, the mindset, but the eating, the exercise.
Well, we've become a McDonald's culture.
Yeah.
People don't eat right anymore.
Well,
yeah, that's a great point. We don't. Maybe it has something to do with the food.
It does, but I see now. See, here's something else we could talk about, because we'll have differing opinions. I see a lot of people becoming healthier with the food.
I do too.
For sure.
But the ones that aren't getting healthier, the ones that are not getting the message,
and they're not happier.
Well, they're becoming a little cuckoo bananas.
And that's why they need to change. So we need to keep spreading the message of eating healthier, exercising, changing the mindset. And it is one person at a time.
You're going to have to clone you.
Yeah, well, there's
to go in different directions.
There's a lot of people like me out there.
No, Lisa, there's not a lot of people like you out there.
Sarah, you're like me, right?
We do. We have a tribe. And there's more joining.
We
or
do.
More just
there
waking
is.
up, right?
It's amazing to me how many people are in that tribe, and how when you exude that vibration at that higher frequency level, they come to you.
Yes.
I mean, everyone around me, Sarah is like you, and Ronnie and Andrew now, who's going to call in, and just all these yogi masters and organic healers, and even Lawrence Taylor. Okay, Lawrence Taylor, everybody knows, has had ups and downs in his personal life.
Yes, he has.
I truly love him as a very good close friend and a beautiful soul. His best friend is Ray Allen. Okay, now what are the odds of this? Is not coincidental at all. It's all the way of life. The universe brings everything together. His best friend just opened a restaurant, and he told me he wanted to have his friend on our show to talk about his restaurant. Never in my wildest dreams would I think the restaurant is what I just posted on Facebook today. Mm-hmm. A Whole Foods organic green way of life with kale, spinach, with a drive-through in Miami, Florida. I mean, I'm like, wow, I'm driving up here from Hollywood. It takes me an hour to get here. And I'm thinking, wow, this is nothing to do with coincidence. I know that LT and I met to change people's lives because I'm helping him change his life, and he's helping me build a platform to help others change their lives.
Right.
And now his best friend just opened a restaurant. I can't wait to have his friend on the show talking about it. And Ray Allen is a very
yes, he is. A
famous
well-known basketball
yeah,
player.
he was.
Yeah.
Isn't that so cool, Sarah?
Applause, applause, applause. I'm here clapping. I love it, and it makes complete sense that you are involved, Lisa. Amazing, beautiful work.
It's true. You put the gun show last Sunday.
Right.
The coincidence.
Which you didn't want me to.
Which I didn't want you, but look at what happened Sunday.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I found out that there are more accidents among children with guns than anything else in the world.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And coincidence?
Wait, and you want to hear something? I know we're going to break. I'm at my dad's office. This gentleman, Sean Smith, worked for my father for like 6 months. I never met him.
Never met him.
And I'm there 3 times a week. All of a sudden he walks out. I see him not too happy. I ask everyone there, who is this guy? What's his story? They tell me his story. I get him on the phone. He's on my show. Like, that's not coincidence. That's the universe and God saying, this is Lisa.
Scary
this is
stuff,
what you're
Lisa.
supposed
Scary
to be doing.
stuff.
All right, Sarah, we got to take a break. Now, are you going to be able to come in next week or call in, either one?
I will. I'll be back in I will be back in town. Yeah.
Oh, yay! I'm so excited. We're doing our show next week on twin flames and soulmates and love, and oh, I'm so happy you're going to be part of it. Yay!
Lovely. I can't wait.
Okay, so we'll talk to you more next week. We're going to commercial break. Thank you. Be well.
See you soon, guys.
See you later.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
What if protecting ourselves against the ravages of Alzheimer's disease was as easy as drinking a bottle of water every day? It's possible. Recent studies at some of the world's leading research universities are showing a strong connection between elevated levels of aluminum in the brain and Alzheimer's disease. Mineral water that is rich in silica, like Fiji or Volvic brand bottled waters, can help flush aluminum from our bodies naturally. So indeed, drinking a bottle of silica-rich water every day has the potential to both prevent Alzheimer's disease and to treat those who have been recently diagnosed with it. Aluminum is toxic to all life forms, and in today's world, we are exposed to over 50 times more aluminum than previous generations. Currently, not only are we seeing more people suffering from Alzheimer's disease, but we're seeing a sharp increase in younger people contracting the disease, and it is progressing more rapidly. Silica is an essential nutrient and provides us with protection from aluminum toxicity, and it's not patentable. That means the big drug companies will make no money from it, and therefore they are unwilling to fund continued research despite its promising findings. But what if preventing Alzheimer's disease really was as simple as drinking a bottle of water? What would it be worth to you and your loved ones to find out? At the Children's Medical Safety Research Institute, they fund research to find causes, cures, and treatments for autoimmune diseases like Alzheimer's that affect all ages. Please visit cmsri.org to find out how you can help.
According to the CDC and the FDA, after receiving the HPV vaccine, thousands of young women have reported convulsions, crippling fatigue, paralysis, blindness, and other severe reactions.
In 2013, one of the developers of the HPV vaccine admitted on air that more than 70 young girls were known to have died after being vaccinated.
Recently, the American Academy of Pediatricians issued a warning about the HPV vaccine, Gardasil, causing premature menopause and ovarian failure in young women.
In 2013, Japan became the first country to withdraw its recommendation for the HPV vaccine.
Denmark now has 5 regional uptake facilities for girls who were healthy before they received HPV shots and are now exhibiting serious medical harm.
The makers of the HPV vaccine claim it protects against ovarian cancer from developing in 20 to 30 years, but the vaccine was approved after less than 5 years of testing.
It's okay to ask questions about vaccine safety. Learn more at cmsri.org, paid for by the Children's Medical Safety Research Institute.
At Pain Care Specialists of Florida, their goal is to provide unparalleled patient care. To do so, they focus on the physical progress, as well as the emotional well-being of their patients. With an emphasis on personalized and compassionate, yet cost-effective treatment, they individually monitor all of their patients to ensure their continued progress. All patients first undergo a thorough assessment to determine the issues contributing to their pain symptoms. Then, an individualized, comprehensive treatment plan is developed, targeted to their specific problem. Pain Care Specialists of Florida utilizes the most advanced proven technologies in order to help their patients quickly return to work and full productive lives. You don't have to endure pain. Call Pain Specialists of Florida at 954-322-8586. That's 954-322-8586. You are transforming your mind, body, and spirit with fitness professional and life coach Lisa Dwoskin. You can call in at any time, toll free, 1-800-889-0267 to speak with Lisa. Now let's get back to this week's show.
And we're back, and we have our next caller on the phone. Before I pick up the call, Andrew is an author, and I'll let you talk about yourself a little bit, Andrew, but what I wrote down that I really want people to hear is that you help people raise the collective frequency of humanity's vibrational state. And that's what we're talking about in this show, is healing and growth and love, unity, wholeness, truth, everything that you teach about. So I'm very happy to have you on the show, and nice to meet you. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you. I'm very grateful to be here as well. I appreciate it.
Now you have published books, or how many books? One, two, what?
I haven't published a book yet. I've published a lot of short stories about my journey so far. I've been working on a course called Awakening 101, a step-by-step guide to your highest potential, and I've put all of my focus and energy into creating a curriculum to assist people, to expand their consciousness and to find more joy, more peace, balance, and clarity in their own life.
Okay, perfect. So we've been talking the whole first part of the show, about 30, 40 minutes, on the events taking place around us with Orlando and the shootings and the alligator with the baby and animal slaughter and just abuse and horrific things going on, and how we as individuals can cope and heal and be in a more positive mindset, a higher vibrational state, like what you're talking about. So give us some input or examples or something for our listeners to help them cope with this, or strategies to deal with stuff like this.
Sure. Well, there are definitely different perspectives we can all look at the same object or the same situation with. If you want to take this latest tragedy in Orlando, for example, it's obviously a less than ideal situation. There are people who are hurt and, communities that are traumatized because of this. It's not a great thing, but for me personally, the way I choose to see this is that the positive light for it for me is that it brings people to a higher state of awareness. And when something like this happens, we tend to come together as a community. We realize that we have to put our differences aside. In this instance, the gay community was targeted. And it's a situation that can bring us together and gives us the potential to look past our differences and understand that we're all human. So for me, I choose to look at the positive aspect and see, this isn't a good thing, but there are good things that will come of it. One, because, it may bring us to a place where we begin to accept our fellow brothers and sisters regardless, and understand that they're human too, and that all life is precious regardless of our beliefs. At the end of the day, we're all just human. We all want to be happy. And for me, particularly for people who come to me asking me if this is a conspiracy, if this is a hoax, there was a lot of that. It doesn't really matter, but I do see that a situation like Orlando can lead us to the truth, because people talk about things like the Sandy Hook shooting or 9/11 being not as they're portrayed in the mass media. And I see this as just another opportunity for people to realize that maybe not everything adds up. Maybe there's more going on here than it appears.
Yeah.
And it's just looking for the good and the opportunity to grow.
No, I love what you're saying, because what you're saying is just exactly what Sarah Solstice just said, and what Freddie, my producer, and I are here discussing, that is it more hate coming out, or is it like what you're talking about, looking at it from the perspective of this is all happening for people to be more aware, to become into a more loving state. Now, what about the majority of people in our society that don't look at it that way, and they're looking at it as our world is coming to an end, it's falling apart, total chaos, what's happening? How can we convince those people that this isn't, that's not the way to look at it? You have to look at it towards something positive coming out of it. How would you advise them to change their way of thinking?
Well, I would say that we can't really convince anybody of anything. We can't really change other people and their thoughts. But what we can do is be an example for them, to show them how it works for us, how we deal with the situation, and how we find the positive aspect of even the most negative situations, and how we can transform that and live our lives in a way that makes somebody else say, you know what, they're doing something right. What are they doing that's different from what I'm doing? Because I surely don't feel as good as this other person does. So for me, it's about being the example, not really seeking to change other people's opinions, but to let the energy do it itself, because I look at energy, and I feel that as long as I can embody this higher perspective, this higher vibration, that it's inevitable that others around me will begin to feel that light and experience it themselves.
Yes, I love that. And before I ask you the next question, if anybody wants to call in to talk to us, 800-889-0267. So, Andrew, I want you to just touch, like scratch the surface, because our listeners are not ready for the depth of 5D versus 3D way of the vibrational state of living. So can you just kind of, for beginners that have no idea what 5D means, can you just explain that a little bit?
Sure. 5D is, the transcending of duality. Duality being, the yin and the yang, right, wrong, having to frame everything in a positive or negative sense. For me, 5D is moving your awareness, your consciousness. It really is just a state of being, a state of mind, a frame of reference that looks at everything from the perspective of not being right or wrong, but just being as it is, being in a state of acceptance, allowance, unity, not, here's a white man, here's a black man, here's a straight man, here's a gay man. 5D says, no, everybody's just human. We look to unify instead of divide, and I feel like 5D is just a state of consciousness, just a perspective.
So it's just a perspective. It's not actually like another dimension of living. It's just a perspective.
Well, I should say there definitely is a fifth dimension. For me, to embody 5D is to have that state of awareness, that state of consciousness that transcends a dualistic view of your reality. But for sure, there is a fifth dimension, just like there is a first, second, third, and fourth dimension, for sure.
Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that in the fifth dimension, things like love, presence, unity, this is what exists over what we see in the 3D or 4D world, separation, different classes, and these kinds of things.
Okay, now do you actually work with people and help them transform from a more negative mindset to a positive mindset, or do you write about it, or are you actually working with people?
Yes, all of the above.
Okay, so
I write once a week, and I help people personally.
Okay, so I'm a life coach and a fitness expert, and what I do is I take a client who wants to change. Let's talk about life coaching, not getting them their bodies changing. They want to change their mindset from a negative place to a positive place. They come to me, they're in a very negative space. What do? So I tell them, number one, I want you to journal every single day, and don't tell me you don't have time. Journal 10 minutes a day. At night before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning, figure out what feelings are going on within you, what your issues are, what you want to change. Anything that comes off the top of your head, write it down. Then I tell them to meditate, to listen to guided meditation 10 minutes a day, every other day, just to try to relax their mind. Then I tell them to go out in nature, walk around the block. If you can't do 30 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. And then read positive affirmations every day, morning, afternoon, and night. Don't watch the news all day long and be hooked on it. And be grateful for your life and pray to whatever belief you believe in, an energy source, God, whatever it is that you believe in, and be kind and loving to yourself. Those are like my little tricks of the trade that I tell every client, no matter what they're going through, whether it's loss of a child, divorce, separation, a cancer, whatever it is. So now you're more in the whole spiritual realm, and I'm more in the spiritual mind, body, and emotional realm. So how would you tell a person that's in a negative state to change in a simplistic way?
Well, let me start by saying I honor you for what you do. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and I've read a bunch about it, and it looks like you're doing an absolutely incredible job. And, the best I can say...
Thank you.
Welcome. Is that I'm essentially your mirror. I do exactly the same thing. I consider myself almost like a spiritual geek squad. I help people diagnose what their issues are, and then essentially help them rewire their mainframe. What you're really doing is rerouting neurological pathways through developing a spiritual practice that people can follow every day. And we focus on wholeness. So being whole is to not leave anything out. So, it encompasses that trinity of mind, body, and spirit.
Okay, and I have to interject you for 1 second because I love what you just said. So now we have a beginner who just heard what you said but has no idea what you're talking about. So now what would you tell them to do to change their neurological mindset? And give me like something simple today a listener listening to you could do to help change that.
Yeah, for sure.
A spiritual practice.
What it's about is building that spiritual practice and building positive habits. It's all energy. So when you start to connect your energy into positive places, it becomes inevitable that you begin embodying that energy. So when I do my sessions, usually I give people a practice that has meditations in it. It has positive affirmations. I do them every morning and every night and throughout the day. Simple things like this. And also, which is really important, is being aware when you begin to have negative emotions, negative experiences, when you have them, to be aware and to look at what is triggering them. Because those triggers will tell us everything about the root of this problem and will lead us to be able to transform it from the root up instead of just diagnosing, a symptom. Mm-hmm. So it's very basic, very simple, but it can get very deep sometimes as well.
No, I love that. Now, when you teach meditation, how do you explain to a beginner how to meditate? Because I get this question all the time, and what I tell people to do is Google guided meditation and just pick one that they like and listen with their headphones because it helps them. But how would you, I know everyone has a different way of meditating. How would you explain it?
For sure. Well, for a beginner, I would definitely suggest guided meditations. When I began, they were super helpful for me because you can kind of just listen, and it tends to help you use your visualization. And as you listen to somebody talk, you don't realize that you're not doing anything. You're clearing your space. So guided meditations are great. For me, for an absolute beginner, I would really stress with somebody that they don't have to be concerned about an outcome. They shouldn't worry about if they're having thoughts in their meditation. All they need to do is just focus on their breath and visualize their breath coming in to their body, into the pit of their stomach, holding it for a brief moment, and then exhaling through their mouth and just breathing deeply, and to think about absolutely nothing but that, and to use the visualization to almost trick the mind into giving it something to do in creating the visualization. And it kind of tricks the mind into becoming silent and becoming clear.
I love it.
Yeah, I would just say focusing on the breath and using the visualization to see it happening, and to continue with that as long as possible and continue building on it.
That's great. I love it. Thank you so much. And Andrew, we're running out of time. We have about 3 minutes left. But I definitely want to have you on the show again. And before I let you go, can you give out your information if people want to get in touch with you?
Definitely. Well, our main website, which is a spiritual news website where we post all the news from the internet every day, is 5dnews.com. I would lead people to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/5dnews. And people can keep up with me personally on my personal website, which is thepracticalspiritualist.com, where they'll find my course for awakening, and they'll find my articles that I write that help people to, find a sense of empowerment and life purpose. And we also have 5dreikihealing.com, where we offer energetic healing to people.
Okay, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. I'll have you back again. Have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it. Much love.
Thank you. You
Take care.
too. Bye.
Well, there you have it. I think you touched, one of the other things, one of the other tools out there available for transforming your life is your book, no?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about
I thought you
two
were.
things and then finish with a quote. Metamorphosize is a book about transforming your mind, body, spirit. You can find it on Amazon or Barnes and Nobles online, or go to my website, which is Lisa, Lisa, Dwoskin, DWOSKIN.com, and check me out on Facebook, Body by Lisa. I'll be here next week, hopefully with Mr. Lawrence Taylor, doing a show about love, twin flames, soulmates. He's going to love that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to trick him into it.
Oh, yeah.
I want to finish with a quote that I found this morning I love. People were created to be loved. Things were created to be used. The reason why this world is in such a chaotic state is because things are being loved and people are being used. So I want to end it with love. Just be love. Love everybody. Love yourself. Love the world. Love. Mwah, bye. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you for tuning in today and starting your very own journey through transformation. Don't wait to get the perfect weight, the perfect mate, or the perfect job to become happy. Be happy today. Lisa will continue to help guide you weekly to become more mindful and to live in the now. Feed your body healthy and nutritious foods. Get your body moving. And feed your mind with positive affirmations. With a positive mind, your body will react accordingly. Be here next Sunday or visit her website at any time at lisadwoskin.com. Till then, remember, believe and you will achieve greatness.